All right, here we go. Let's get started. So what we're going to look at today, I'm going to help you guys out if you are stuck with the application extension problems. I'm going to help by going through one of them now. So let's go through number 2, the word problem. I know we look at this one and some of you probably freak out saying, oh, yeah, I got a word problem here. I can't figure things out. Okay, but again, what we're focusing on in this section is solving equations through graphing. So we have to take this problem, carefully read it. What your goal is can we take, and you can see in part A and B, can we take the information and come up with equations, which then we can solve in part C by graphing. So here's what you're told. Mr. Wazakowski thought it would be pretty awesome to start up a Twitter account at BossHog. You know, that's me. When I created my account, I had 3 followers to start, my mother, my grandmother, and my wife, the only people that probably actually like me. And each day after that, I added 4 additional followers. Okay, so what this statement says here, when I look at this, I added 4 additional followers each day. So that means I start with 3. After the first day, I would have then 4 more, which would be 7, and so on and so on. Okay? Now we're going to compare this to Mr. Seafeld. Hopefully you guys know Mr. Seafeld. If not, go introduce yourself. He also created a Twitter account at Mr. Cool Guy, because everybody knows Mr. Seafeld's the cool guy. He started with 15 followers, so plenty more than what I had because he's the cool guy, remember that. And however, he only adds 1 per day, okay, whereas I'm adding 4. So what we want to do first is take this information and come up with an equation for both me and Mr. Seafeld. So I'm going to start with myself. Looking at the information here, I know that I started creating an account, I started off with 3 followers, and that each day, key thing there, each day I added 4, okay? So to think about that, I'm going to write an equation to represent the number of followers I have. Okay? Now I'm just going to write this between, remember when we write an equation, you're always going to have y and x. Okay, so y is going to be my number of followers, and I got to think of what x is. Well, really when I look at this problem, I see that I add 4 followers per day. So I'm going to have x represent the number of days. So now I can write an equation that models the number of Twitter followers I have versus the number of days. Okay, so y, the number of Twitter followers I have, equals, okay, well I start off with 3 followers, and then each day I add 4. So I'm going to write 4, and then I want to represent the number of days. Now, the number of days could be any number. Could be 1, could be 2, could be a year, could be 2 years. So I'm going to label that as x. So what this represents is this would be my equation. It represents the number of followers I have. Okay, now I'm just going to rewrite this again. I just kind of thought through it, but really in writing it in proper slope-intercept form would be y equals 4x plus 3. I'm not changing anything, just reworking it. Okay, all right, now thinking about Mr. Seafeld's, here's what I wanted you to do. Pause real quick and see if you can figure out Mr. Seafeld's equation. So go ahead, pause. All right, so here's what you should have gotten. Looking at his equation, I said, okay, started off with 15 followers compared to my 3. He added 1 each day, so I had plus 1x. Again, x represents the number of days. Could be anything, that's why we put an x. Rewrote it, you get y equals x plus 15. Okay, so now what do I have? I have an equation here. Linear equation represents my Twitter followers and Mr. Seafeld's Twitter followers. So, next question, find the solution to the system. What is the solution? Well, we're talking about graphing. These are 2 lines. We need to find a solution through graphing. Okay, then I'm going to leave numbers 3 and 4 to you. Now we have to think a little bit. Okay, take our information. Let's take the stuff from a graph. Let's think of what does this equation, what does our solution, what does our graph really represent? And I'll leave that stuff for you. Hopefully this helped to set things up. Now the rest is up to you. See ya.